Welcome, welcome, welcome to all you wisdom walkers out there. Have been wisdom walking, should be wisdom walking, always wisdom walking. This is Jojopah Maria and Saroma coming to you with another edition of Astrology for Self Mastery. And I came on early today because there is an aspect that is happening that I wanted to bring your attention to as early in the day as possible because it's a kicker. It is definitely a kicker. Um let me just get out of this. There we go. And it is almost like not a preview, but it's part of a process. Let me say that. It's part of a process. And it's a painful process. It's not it's a painful process because again, we're in this last quarter of 2022 and as I've been talking about, this is a time for renaissance, for moving into the new who we are, what we are, new structures, new systems, all of that. And so, all of us have our foot still stuck in the past. And so, yeah, the energy is really bringing our attention to that. I don't know about you, but that full moon in Aries on October 9th, oh my God, it transformed my life. Transformed my life. I had such a beautiful, beautiful healing. There were some other things going on in my family that were very upsetting. From other people I know, there was upsetting things going on. So this energy this month has been no joke, and we've got one of we've got two major planetary shifts that are happening this week that I'm going to be talking about, including what's happening today. Um, and then afterwards, which I will come back and give you information for the rest of the month, because starting on the 23rd and definitely the 25th is the big eclipse, the first eclipse of our eclipse season. The next one will come on November 8th. And yeah, and there's just stuff, there's just shift stuff that's going on. We've got planets moving forward, which is always a wonderful thing. But again, with it, it brings change. And so yeah, that's the time that we are in right now. So without further ado, let me pull up for you the astrology slides here. And let's begin to break this down. I want to begin reminding you of the quotes for the month of October. The first from Astro Butterfly. October 2022 has it all. Solar eclipse, Mars retrograde in Gemini, and a record of 4 planets changing direction. If this was not enough, the Saturn Uranus square is in its tightest orb this month, less than 1 degree. Saturn square Uranus is an uncompromising, high friction energy that, on the one hand, promotes change, that's Uranus, and on the other hand, resists it, that's Saturn. In October, we can expect lots of twists and turns, as well as fated events that will propel us on a new path. The key word for October: intensity. No joke there. And then Narayana Montefiore says, romance, change, and destiny await. Welcome to fall. As we adapt to the new season, there's a feeling of imminent change in the air. Because of their retrograde, Saturn and Uranus have come closer together once again. While their square doesn't totally perfect this time, its change inducing influence is quite active, especially with Uranus being so close to the north node of destiny. Yeah. Once again, the structures of our lives are up for renewal. But first, they will have to collapse. This process, at some level or another, has most likely been in place. Yes, no doubt there. So again, we're in this Libra season, which brings this beautiful, loving energy of harmony and balance. We've got Venus being active right now. She's in the process of moving from being a morning star into an evening star. So in her transit around the sun, and from our perspective from Earth, she kind of gets invisible. Yeah. And then she'll be becoming a evening star. But in that process, she's really, Libra is her season. Venus love being in Libra. That's her home, her domicile, they call it. So we should have been feeling a lot of loving energy, a lot of flow, as we continue to learn and traverse through what's going on. So here we are. This was Monday. And Monday, we had a beautiful trine of the sun in Libra with Mars in Gemini. And as it says here, this aspect brings energy, self esteem, and a major boast of courage to rise above difficult challenges with ease. You can understand what motivates you at this time due to a conscious awareness of your primal desires. You will feel a strong urge to take action under this transit and should follow your instincts. This is a winning transit. Yes. And for me, that was Monday was a very, very loving day, a very good flow day. Next, and this was yesterday, the 18th, we had another beautiful trine. And this one was with Venus and Libra trining Mars and Gemini. And your creativity may have been stimulated. And this was an excellent time to start creative projects or anything, in fact, that you are passionate about. Creative projects that combine beauty with action are ideal, such as redecorating a room, sculpture, dance, or painting. And I'll add to that playing the piano, which I love, love, love to do. So, again, we had these two energies of flow energy Monday and Tuesday because they were preparing us for today. And I know that some of us have been experienced what today is starting yesterday, because some of us, we were a little ahead, we're a little ahead of the herd, a little ahead of the time. And here we go with what was going on. This is what was happening and is happening today that I want you to be so very conscious of. Yeah. Yeah. Put this up. So here we are on the 19th, which happens to be my niece's birthday. So a shout out to Rachel. Happy birthday to you. And here we go. We have not one, but two, folks, two squares to Pluto, first by the sun, and then the second one is by Venus. Yeah, so Venus and the sun doing this dance because they're getting ready to conjunct, which I'll tell you about. It's very powerful. But first, here's what's going on. Great potential to experience ego conflicts, power struggles, and drama, trauma. Avoid witnessing or participating in destructive or volatile behavior by laying low, treading with caution, and certainly not rocking the boat. Yeah, this is about if you can avoid even going into work if you can do it. If your work situation is such that you're like, oh God, I gotta deal with these people. Yeah, like if you can avoid it, avoid it. If you're in a warm place like I am, go to the beach. It's a great day to go to the beach. Yeah, it's actually going to be up in the 80s here in Santa Monica. So I'm thinking it. I'm thinking it. But yeah, it's like the energy is tight and you'll want to go on a defensive. You'll want to be like defending yourself. And even if you were in the wrong, this isn't the time for that. This is the time to just be still and let the square energy do what it needs to do because it's a really tight energy, very, very tight, easy for people to fly off the handle very, very quickly. So, as I said, this is with the sun, and now we have Venus squaring Pluto in Capricorn. And remember, Pluto is going direct now. It's not retrograde in Capricorn, it's direct. And as this says here, secrets come out into the open during this challenging connection, bringing up feelings of betrayal, jealousy, and powerlessness. Sounds like victim consciousness to me. At the root of such behaviors would be a deeply buried fear or insecurity about not feeling loved or valued. An unhealthy relationship may break down, which would be very painful or dramatic. So again, really, really, powerful, powerful energy pushing up stuff from our subconscious that we do need to be aware of. I need to know when I am transferring my pain onto someone. I need to know when I am not being considerate enough of other people. I also need to know that, people are going to go through their stuff and I can't take on their pain. Yeah, that's not helpful. That's not going to help them. So that's the kind of what's going on is for us to just be more conscious about what's sitting in our subconscious and work on moving it out. That's like really, really important. Really important. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, this is that day, that day. And I'm just going to quickly show some comments I got here. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Michael Devine said, "Yeah, let's dive into it." You're right, Michael. I'm diving into it because this is something else. Ain't no joke about what's going on today. So yeah, I'm holding space for all of us, including myself, to just stay in the flow. Stay in the flow from those 2 days. See, we got some flow energy to use against these. And this is very unusual. I want you to understand this. It's very unusual for there be not one, but two squares in the same day. Oh, yeah. This is no joke. Yeah. But let's move on from here because on Saturday, after we come down from all of that, we do get into some sweetness. And you'll notice that the date is 22, and we're in a 22 year. So, in the wisdom that I keep from the Dagara, this is a double fire day and a double fire year. And it is a day that will bring to us more truths, and when we're ready for it, if we're ready for it, there's going to be sweetness. There's going to be some sweetness on this day. If you've been doing your work, I guarantee it. Guarantee it. So here's Saturday. We have first Saturn going direct in Aquarius. Now, as it says here, now that we have understood what is no longer working in our life, Saturn's direct motion is our opportunity to make the necessary adjustments. All Saturn stations and all planetary stations are important, but this one will be particularly intense. That's because Saturn is now almost exactly squaring Uranus. This is a pressure cooker type of energy that demands release. When Saturn changes direction, we may suddenly, Uranus, change our mind about a course of action. And so the sweetness here is that what you've been working on, especially since the beginning of the year, and if you made your annual commitments, set those intentions, then you are now ready because once you set the intentions, the universe is going to take you on a journey to bring up blocks, support you in removing blocks to those intentions manifesting into treasure for you. So what this is saying at okay, now we're at this point where you're going to be able to access more of your treasure because you now know what's not working. You should have experienced those blocks. And so there's a sweetness to that. That this is like payoff time. And again, if for some reason we haven't been doing enough of our work, yeah, are we going to feel it? Yeah, we're going to feel it. We're going to feel it. But again, it's all designed to grow us, to evolve us, to help us get into this new age, into this new earth, into this new timeline, a higher timeline about who and what we are. Now, Saturn and Aquarius, I want to just share with you some wisdom and insights from Astro Butterfly. And let me put her banner up here just so you know. As you can go to her website, and under her blog, you can find this full article about Saturn and Aquarius 2020 to 2023 and what to expect. And I just love this. It's a great reminder about how important this time is that we are moving through. And we're moving from herd mentality to good fellowship. from false democracy to true democracy, from a false sense of freedom. And I apologize because uh, I didn't bring that one. I didn't bring the whole thing when I was cutting and pasting. So it says from a false sense of freedom to true freedom that comes from the ability to manage oneself. That's way cool. From intellectual snobbery to expertise, what that's really about. And expertise is really based on critical, bias free thinking and years of study. Yeah, from technology addiction to value creation through technology, and then from human resources, people as product production units, to human capital. And she says, when empowered, the human mind can achieve incredible things. So, this is about really valuing and honoring who and what people really are. Yeah. So check out that full article. I'm actually going to do a video on that. I'm going to get her permission because it's just really powerful stuff for us to have in our consciousness, especially as we move into 2023. Yeah. So thank you, Astro Butterfly, for that. Now, also on the 22nd, we have this really, really powerful, hasn't happened since 1879, where the sun and Venus come together in Libra. Yeah. So Venus is going into the heart of the sun. They call this a superior conjunction. And as it says here, it's a day of rest and relaxation as this aspect encourages us to let in the love. Ah, like I said, that's the sweetness. That's the sweetness. This conjunction happens in a relationship sign, so it will likely bring important relationship events. We are now in the middle of the Sun Venus cycle. So, this transit feels like a Venus full moon and provides loving energy for initiatives or the intentions we set back in January when Venus started a new cycle to come to fruition. And again, this very, very powerful love energy. Again, hasn't happened since 1879. Think about that. This kind of conjunction. This is like really powerful. And there's an astrologer who wrote a book on this called Venus Rising. That's really cool. I'll bring some of this information to you again because it's just really, really sweet and powerful. Also, Barbara Goldsmith, and I'm sorry I didn't put a banner up for her, but Barbara Goldsmith, Google her or go on to YouTube, has done a wonderful short video about this, about the Venus conjunction and the Venus rising information. But I also want to share with you some about that right now. Talking about Venus in the heart of the sun. So the Venus superior conjunction we will experience on October 22 that has far-reaching implications beyond the present moment. It will be the first union between the Sun and Venus in Libra since 1879 and will initiate a new era of solar conjunctions for Venus in Libra that will occur over the course of the next century. Wow, very powerful. In our personal lives, the initiation into a new Venus star point in Libra can correlate with innovations, emerging desires, and new creative directions related to any of the significations of Venus, because Venus rules, money as well as love and luxury and good feelings and peacemaking. Yeah, all of that. It can be especially fruitful for anyone engaged in the creative arts due to the strong link between the arts and humanities, with Venus in the humanitarian sign of Libra. But there will be many other ways in which we will be able to notice changes taking shape in our lives in the correlation. And then lastly, just throw at you some more of this kind of sacred geometry associated with Venus. As it says here, Venus forms a five-pointed star of Venus star points within her 8-year synodic cycle. And a synodic cycle, those are the times that um, a planet is conjunct with the sun and like in the heart of the sun. Yeah, the synodic cycle. So the time it takes her to have one, then next to the other, and next to the other in her transition through the zodiac. So this formation is related to the golden mean or the Fibonacci sequence for how things in nature take form. And as you can see in this, the beauty of and the genius of Leonardo da Vinci with the Mona Lisa and how he used that technique in laying out and scaling out this masterpiece. Yeah, we also see it, of course, in storms, in seashells, and of course in our galaxy. Yeah. So just a little of that because I think it's really cool to know. Yeah. And last but not least, we have also on Saturday, Mercury in Libra, trining Saturn in Aquarius. So again, this day really being full of a lot of flow energy. As it says here, our mind should be clear and logical as we sort out the details of our lives. We can tackle hard mental work as well as practice common sense, especially in regards to our relationships and social connections. With this energy, use this energy to make long-term plans. Yes, yes, yes. Very, very sweet. Very, very sweet. Good, good stuff. Yeah. And so, um, there we have it. There we have it. You know, this really powerful, powerful time that is happening. And again, just want to encourage you to take it light today. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. Allow yourself to just be, yeah, and do something that makes you feel good, whether it is even eating something that makes you feel good, you know. Take a nap if you can, you know, just really let yourself rest and disengage from any trauma, rama, drama, anger, hurt. And most importantly, if you are feeling pain, please give yourself permission to cry. We're in a time where there's so much to grieve, and we've been stuffing so much down to keep going, you know, to keep surviving. But there comes a point where it's unhealthy for us to ignore those feelings and especially to stop the flow of the tears that want to come. So I wish you a very safe, healthy, and happy day. And for the rest of the week, as I said, I'll be coming back. Probably, I might come back on Saturday. Saturday would be a good day, and give you the astrology for the rest of the month because the solar eclipse in Taurus. It's yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Yeah, it's it's not in Taurus, I apologize. Oh god, it's in Scorpio. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Anyway, be well, be safe. Thank you so much for tuning in. I so appreciate you, and, comment below if there's anything I left out, anything more you wanna know. However I can serve you, it will be my pleasure. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Be well. Bye-bye now. Thank you, TK.